All right. And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, here to talk about all things professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, superstar updates, injuries, rumors, potential storyline buildups in terms of professional wrestling. So make sure you tune into the show every night, every Monday through Friday. Excuse me. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw review. Now we're going to jump on into our NXT Great American Bash Week 1 preview. So let's go ahead and dive on into that. But before we move on to any of that, I want to remind you guys to use the GSMC Sports, GSMCPodcast.net link. Hit up the tips and donations. Obviously, anything's greatly appreciated. Just want to hear you guys' opinions. Just want to hear what you guys have to say about professional wrestling. Hell, even the sports world. Like, why not? Let's do it. Uh, Actually, no, I gotta stick to a strict schedule. I'm just kidding, no. Yeah, honestly, anything in terms of wrestling. Tell me what you like in wrestling. Tell me what you don't like. Let me know if you think Damian Priest is a formidable champion. Let me know if you'd rather see Brock Lesnar come back and take the strap off him. But obviously, any chat is greatly, highly appreciated. So once again, the link is at the GSMCPodcast.net. All right, so let's do this. We're going to talk about NXT Great American Bash. You saw recently that WWE NXT is bringing back a lot of old terms of like WCW and like WWE, like you saw with No Mercy. You saw Heat Wave, that was an ECW thing. You see the Great American Bash, which was a WCW thing. You have Halloween Havoc and stuff like that. So just only, you have Roadblock, which was a WW. You had Great Balls of Fire, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool how they're bringing back some nostalgia pay-per-views and stuff like that. Definitely, they have In Your House and stuff. So definitely love that. But first, we're going to start off with the six with Lola Vice teaming up to take on JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley. You know what? I got to be honest. I feel like ever since Cody Rhodes gave his mask to JC Jane, she's been terrible. She's been worse, and it was to a point where she was like a top tier main event caliber type of woman. But now it just seems like she's kind of faltering through the ladder and stuff like that. Her partner Jasmine Nix seems a little more impressive than JC Jane, to be honest. Fallon Henley's just a punk going out there. I love the team. I love the team of Carmen Petrovic, Sol Ruca, and Lola Vice. Obviously, all rising stars within the WWE NXT, kind of roster. I felt Sol Ruca, was going to be our inaugural WWE NXT Women's North American champion. Obviously, that did not prevail. It took five or six pop rocks for Roxanne Perez to successfully retain her NXT Women's championship against Lola Vice, and then the young and hungry Carmen Petrovic, trained under Natalia Neidhart, the Queen of Hearts. So always something special in terms of that. I think these three women are, it's, just to kind of shake things up. Maybe you see a loss here. Honestly, it'd be kind of crazy to see them lose. Because once again, they were talking, about Wendy Chu, also, Tatum Paxley, when they were talking to Kaylani Jordan about her championship, who she's going to defend against. So, definitely, you can see outside interference ultimately kind of building up more momentum for these six women. I feel like it'd be too much of an easy way out to let the Petrovic, Ruka, and Lola Vice to win here. I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of force them to kind of push beyond their potential and show more of their face, so to speak. So you would have JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley finally after beating up the newbies, finally pick up the victory. I feel like they kind of need them more. Next, we have Tony D'Angelo puts the NXT Heritage Cup on the line against Tavion Heights. Good for Tavion Heights. Gotta love the former Olympian. He's won gold for this country, obviously. Tony D'Angelo and the family respect that. Right now, you've kind of had the losing ways of Charlie Dempsey, even on TNA Impact. I feel like the no quarter catch crew, if Tavion Heights wins, which I feel like Tony D'Angelo will eventually make it back up to the main card. I feel like they need him. I feel like they need him 1,010%. He loses and he goes after Obafemi, or he loses and then he decides to go after Ethan Page's AEW World Championship. Because right now you have Oro Mensah. I love Oro Mensah. He's a obviously all wrestlers are very impressive. These guys are studs. But I don't want to see Ethan Page fight Oro Mensah. I got to be honest. I'd rather see him fight someone like the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. So, I think it's a matter of time until D'Angelo loses that Heritage Cup. And now you kind of see, now you're kind of seeing the no quarter catch crew kind of become more irrelevant day by day. First, it was Drew Gulak getting released, or his, not being offered a contract, and then you see, O'Reilly Osborne, then you see Kemp released from WWE, and then you see them get Tavion Heights and stuff like that. Tavion Heights is a young, very promising superstar. Definitely could bring prestige to the no quarter catch crew. So, you could bet that this is going to be one of the most unpredictable matches tonight. I can put that, honestly, I can, bet the house on that one. Next, we have the WWE World Women's Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, come to NXT to defend their women's tag team titles against Lash Legend and Miss Jackson. It's crazy because these girls are having everybody going after them. I feel kind of bad. But these girls are going to hold their titles. They're not going to lose. Miss Jackson and Lash Legend will put on a good match. A match that, like, even if they lose, it'd be like one of those things where it's like, you know what, they lost, but they were so damn impressive. They could be a future tag team, or they can both be super, super awesome singles superstars and stuff like that. But Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, I really, they have a match with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They have Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler on their tail. Also, you have the team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter wanting to get their NXT, wanting to get their women's tag team titles back. It's such a toss-up in terms of the women's division in terms of tag team. I know there's like four good ones, and there's like a couple of them like on the outside, like Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, who are still kind of, scratching to kind of get into, try to get into their way in terms of the title picture for those tag teams, women's titles. So, you could definitely expect a lot. But I think overall what happens tonight, you see Alba Fire and Isla Dawn retain their WWE Women's Tag Team titles. It would just make the most sense, to be honest. That's my opinion, we'll be honest. Next, we have Joe Hendry performs a live concert for the very first time on WWE soil. TNA wrestler Joe Hendry will return to NXT and perform a live concert in front of all his fans. Hendry is coming off of a tough loss on his quest to become TNA World Champion, but the setback won't dampen his spirit. Don't miss Joe Hendry tonight at Week 1 at the Great American Bash on Sci-Fi. So I love Joe Hendry. I kind of saw Joe Hendry's potential before anybody else does. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just kidding. No, but I think he was a great superstar right from the get-go. When I started watching TNA again, because I watched TNA during the Golden Era, once when they started kind of faltering and everything, once when Dixie Cut and then freaking Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan, and I was like, I'm done. It's like watching WCW shooting themselves in the foot once again. And then when you saw Dixie Carter leave the TNA, and of course she left with Panda Energy. Panda Energy is one of their main sponsors. It was owned by her dad, so obviously once when the daughter leaves, you kind of pull the trigger on that promotion. So then you just saw TNA become not what it used to be. But in recent years, I think it took them to kind of like hit rock bottom in terms of the professional wrestling industry to kind of claw up. And now they're putting on some good pay-per-views. They're putting on great matches with superstars that are, not really WWE rejects from, AEW or even the NWA. These guys are very talented. They're impressive. Very much more impressive than WWE superstars like Solo Sikoa. more impressive than superstars like hell, like even Kevin Owens. So, a lot of these superstars on TNA, they work their arse off and they're gonna get theirs. And I love this collaboration that WWE is having with TNA. Obviously, it's mutual beneficiaries. So, building up audience members for WWE NXT, who's going to be on their own branch when they hit the CW October 10th. No, October 1st. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And then you also have TNA, who's just, they're looking for, they're just looking for something here and there. You know what I mean? Like, they're good sports. Even the wrestlers backstage with TNA, kind of praised the WWE, said that, they did a collaboration with AEW wasn't that great. With WWE, especially with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they're doing it so damn well. Something that you definitely got to tip your hat to the D Generation X right there. Lastly, we have Roxanne Perez defends her WWE NXT Women's Championship against Thea Hail. Look, I love Thea Hail more than more than the average person, but to be brutally honest, I don't really see this happening for Thea Hail. Maybe an interference, or maybe something happens. I definitely think tonight or tomorrow night you'll probably see Stephanie Vacure or Julia finally come out and challenge Roxanne Perez, because then you kind of get Thea Hail. I really honestly don't hope that they're going to use this match for Ridge Holland to kind of be further separated from Chase U. But I think it's already over. I think they already gained his trust. He already gained their trust. But it would be kind of ironic to have this thing kind of re-brought up and resurfaced and stuff like that. But Thea Hail, so damn impressive, so young, so talented, enthusiastic, charismatic, everything you want from a WWE superstar, everything you would ever want from a professional wrestling, title holder. But Roxanne Perez right now, she's just out of this world. She's out of this world right now. I don't think, especially on night one, I feel like if Roxanne Perez was going to drop the belt, they would probably have it on night two. But, and also I think they're kind of saving it for Stephanie McCord to kind of, claim her spot on NXT. You know what I mean? Obviously, she came out pretty hot out of the CMLL, also New Japan Professional Wrestling Strong Women's Champion. So, got to tip your hat off to, the newbies coming in. The newbies. So, but tonight is not Thea Hail's night. I'm sorry. Hate being the bearer of bad news, but, got to stick with my gut on this one. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the top 10 men in professional wrestling. Eric Rodriguez's power rankings, obviously, always, always, always subjective and opinionated. So if you guys have some, somebody that you think should be in the top 10, let me know. We'll argue and we'll plead their case. But hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about it.